Good morning, this is Vicki.
And this is Jo.
And we're the Two Natural Ladies.
And we talk about the good news we all need and ways of getting the most out of life.
We help people with practical, uplifting ways we can all make a difference.
And we're striving for better, not perfect.
And we love a good laugh. Please enjoy the show. And you're with the Two Natural Ladies, and we have a wonderful guest today, Jerry, who I met, I think about 7 years ago, quite a long time ago.
And me too.
Yes?
I have, yes.
Yes.
I think I met Jerry at a networking event. Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and Jerry contributed to a book, the Book of Inspiration for Women by Women, and her chapter was all about pay it forward. So we're going to talk all about paying it forward.
Welcome, Jerry.
Hi, ladies. How are we?
We're good. We're good. We had a great first hour chatting about all sorts of amazing things.
And are you a coriander lover, Jerry?
I am, yes. I think you're either a lover or a hater, but
so.
I love it. Can't get enough of it.
Yes, I'm with you. Yes, we'll have to go out to the place that serves a lot of coriander. Let's do it. All right.
In fact, I used to take the kids to a play group, and it was at a Baptist church in Beaumaris, and it just used to grow like wild there.
Oh.
And I used to bring a bunch home every Thursday, and I said, "This is blessed coriander. We have to eat it."
Oh, yeah.
Perfect.
I want to know where it is.
Well, it's stopped growing now, apparently. It's not there anymore.
So, Jerry, what does the term pay it forward mean to you?
Well, Jo, to me, it's just, you've got the concept of these, even the restaurants out there now. I can't remember the name of it, but the one where you pay what you think it's worth, and then you can contribute more to pay for someone else's meal. I mean, to me, it's not just about the monetary side of things. It's just about what can you do to make someone's life better today just by doing a small thing. And I don't know if you saw this video. It came out years ago, and it was kind of like a ripple effect of paying it forward, of doing something nice for someone that day, and the ripple effect that it had on those people's lives that day. Like, they were going to have a really crap day, but because someone turned around and did something nice to them, it changed their opinion of the world that day, and then they did something nice for someone else. And to me, that's the crux of paying it forward, because there's always something nice that you can be doing, and having your frame of mind that day, I'm going to let 3 people cut in front of me today, and I'm going to wave at them instead of honk at them, and just doing all these little things that you can do to try and make someone's day a little bit better. It doesn't even have to cost you any money, and you just don't know what kind of effect it could have on that person at that point in time.
And I think that's a big one. We're on the road a lot, a bit less these days, but we are on the road a lot. And to just let somebody in rather than speeding up so that they can't get in makes a huge difference. I know how I feel when somebody lets me in. And just those little things, and that's right. Then you're much more likely to then do the same thing to somebody else.
Yeah, and it's, even in the supermarket, if I see someone struggling, because I'm very tall, I always get asked, "Can you get this off the top shelf for me?" Things like that. But I just always ask people, "Do you need it? Do you need a hand with that, or can I help you with that, or whatever it is?" And I think it's because I'm that way that I often get approached as well. For some reason, I always get approached by strangers just asking me, "Do you know how to get to such and such?" My friends used to call me the walking Melways because I knew how to get everywhere.
People somehow knew that.
Yeah, people somehow knew that. And it was amazing how many strangers would come up to me and say, "Do you know where I am, or how to get to such and such?" And now it's in my radar now. Whenever I can hear voices of people saying that they're lost, I'll just turn around and say, "No, you want to be heading that way," or something like that. So,
I wonder if you've ever sent somebody astray.
Probably have.
Dear. So, okay. So what are some lessons that you've learnt after being in business for 12 years, Jerry?
Jesus, too many. Vicki, we wouldn't be in business this long if we hadn't made many, many mistakes. One of the biggest ones that I've learned is to use your gut instinct, definitely. If something's telling you that you're getting that spidey sense that something's not right, especially about a person, then run for the hills because it's usually right. And, I've been burnt by a few people here and there, and the lessons keep getting thrown at you. As someone said to me, you've asked the universe to tell you a lesson, and it keeps trying to send you these lessons, but you're not listening. So you need to keep listening to what the universe is trying to tell you and figure it out a bit better to stop making these mistakes. But the other thing is not to, the shiny object syndrome, as they call it. So many people get, I've just bought into this marketing program. And, I'm in the marketing world, so I hear this all the time. I've just bought into this $6,000 program, $12,000 program, blah, blah, blah. And then nothing ever happens, nothing ever changes. And this is, a lot of people get sucked into buying these things time and time again, thinking that it will change their business. But deep down, you've just got to sit down and do the work and take action, or you've got to find the right people to help you do the work. And that's the other thing too, is I've learned that you just can't do everything in your business either. That you do have to outsource the right things to the right people.
True.
Yes, absolutely. And, one of the things you talk about reciprocity, the law of reciprocity, and for me, you are somebody who has been such a giver. You have, to the point where I know at one point it was like, Jerry, you've now got to actually charge for this, because you're so willing to offer help and support others. That whole thing of reciprocity. What do you see how that has affected you in your life or others that you've seen?
I'm an Aquarian, and I've always been told that Aquarians are givers and not receivers. So it's always been in my head to be a giver. Sometimes you think, I'm giving. Is it coming back to me? But then you start to look at what is coming back to you and you say, yeah, it is. And, in my mind, why wouldn't you want to help people? It may not come back to you for 5 years or something like that, but you just don't know. Like, let's say I helped out someone 3 years ago. You don't know how many people that person has then talked to in recent years, and then all of a sudden there's a referral my way and there's another referral coming my way, because of the way that people have talked. And, it's amazing when you meet someone even for the first time. I mean, the small business world in Melbourne is pretty small, and everyone knows each other, but you meet kind of someone for the first time and they're like, I've been watching what you're doing for a while now. I'm really intrigued. And you're like, wow, you've been watching me? Like, what have I been doing? But it's just that whole thing of that they've seen that I'm often there offering advice for people and helping people out, and it just can have a snowball effect, I guess.
Creating visibility there, yeah?
That's right, yes.
But not doing it because of that. You were doing it because you just have this natural wanting to help people and give people what they need, which is amazing and wonderful. And as you said, it starts to whether it takes a month or a year, it will come back to you.
I was doing it before I even knew what the term meant. I only read about the law of attraction maybe about 12 years ago, and then this term law of reciprocity and everything just sort of came into my life even within the last few years. And so it was just something that I was doing anyway, and it sort of just clarified, what you're doing and kind of the way that the universe works in bringing things back to you. Some people would call it karma, other people call it all sorts of different things, but there's definitely a different energy that comes your way when you're doing good things for people.
Yes, and it's a lovely journey.
It is, yes. So tell us about your goals to get more businesses involved in donating to a charity. I love this.
Yeah, well, I started doing this last year, Joe, as you know. I started donating. Every time I was doing a strategy session, I would donate a certain amount of money to my chosen charity. And that's just so easy to do. And I know that not every business can do it with the way that they make money on their products or whatever. There's very little margin in some things for some people, but there's always something that you can be doing. Like, I know that you ladies have sold some packs, and a certain amount of money from those packs went to a charity as well, and every little bit can count. And it just makes me think there's so many great programs out there. Like I support Destiny Rescue, but other people, they support B1G1. So people might buy a ticket to their event, and then one ticket goes to purchase something that they have chosen overseas. So it might be one ticket is actually one meal, or 10 tickets is a cow or something like that to help people wherever you've chosen to support. And I guess it just makes everyone a bit more philanthropic, but it makes you understand in Australia we're in such an amazing country and we're so blessed to live in this country that how can we not do stuff to help other people in need, because we really are in a great position here. So anything that you can do, and whether it's just donating $50 at a time to another charity, then it can just make a huge difference. And the small amount that I've done in the last year, I think with all the contributions that I made, but also of other people that I inspired to do some fundraising as well, I think last year probably contributed nearly $5,000 or something like that.
Wow.
And that was, with Destiny Rescue, how many kids does that save, Jo?
That
That's
would
like
be 3.5 kids.
Yeah,
yes.
3.5 kids.
Yeah.
Let's just say 3 kids.
Yes.
That saved from...
I'd cut the person in half.
Yeah.
From being trafficked.
Mm,
In the sex trade, yes.
Yeah, yeah.
So was that you personally, or are you saying you inspired others to
There was people that I directly talked to about doing this.
Yes.
So they then went and did things in their business and sent that money straight to Destiny Rescue as well.
Yeah.
And I know how much money these things were. And because they just said, I want to do what you're doing. I want to make this a fundraiser day. And they're like, I said, great idea. And they realised how powerful it was. I even did it before I was involved with Destiny Rescue. I just did, a party plan day where I got a whole bunch of girls together and we looked at all these clothes and we bought clothes. And before I promoted it, I said to the girl that sells the clothes straight away, I said, can we make this a charity event? And she said, oh, we don't normally do that. I said, well, figure it out and tell me how we can do it. So she went back to the company and she said, yep, okay, we can do this, this and this. I didn't get any credits for buying future clothes or anything like that. And they agreed on an amount to go straight to Fitted for Work at that time. So because I thought that was appropriate, we're all buying women's clothing. And, I don't like the idea of having one of these parties at your home or online. It was online in that case, and me personally benefiting from it. I would rather someone else benefit from it. So that's what we did. We sent that money to Fitted for Work. I believe they may have sent some clothes as well, but there was definitely a check, like a $300 check or something like that went there. And it just makes you realise how easy it is in our everyday lives to turn a tiny little event, even in your house, or just having a strategy session with someone or whatever it is, turning it into a little fundraiser, because there's just so many things that you can do to do this. So
and every little bit, grows and grows and grows, and you're you have contributed $5,000, and if I do the same thing, that's another $5,000, and somebody else does that, and the people that you've talked to, then they go, which is the whole thing about Pay It Forward. It's beautiful. It's such a wonderful thing. Oh, Jerry, love it. For anybody who wants to read what Jerry said, now what was the name of the book again, Jerry?
The book of inspiration for women by women.
Which is lovely, which is wonderful. And is there anything else that you would like to share?
Nothing I can think of at the moment. Is there anything you'd like me to share?
While you were talking, I was just thinking about, I'm in love with humanity again. Thank you. But I was just thinking about, we can't all set up a charity.
No.
But but some of those people that do set up charities need us, because without us, they wouldn't exist. So I love that whole, we're all cogs in a big wheel. We make it turn together.
Yeah. At the end of the day, there's a lot of charities out there, and sometimes I wish some of them would join forces.
Yes.
because they could do so much better if they joined forces. So often when I meet someone that says, I started my charity for women against domestic violence or something like that, I might say to them, that's fantastic, but how about you go and talk to these couple of people as well that are already doing that, because perhaps it's something that you guys can do together, because you'll be able to help many more people if you do it together.
Yeah, we've connected a few.
Yeah, because you can't do, a lot of people who start charities have these amazing, huge goals, and you can't do them all on your own. You need massive support, as you know. And sometimes, I wish a few more charities, even these smaller charities, would join forces so that they can do.
Well, we can help connect them, Jerry.
Yes, and we certainly do. And you know, we find that the charities are actually, most of the charities are happy to help each other. So just before we go, two things. One is, tell us about your business, what you do, and how people can get in touch with you.
Well, my business is called Nurture Queen Videos, and a bit of a strange name, but at one point I was all about, my background's in marketing, and I was all about appreciation marketing and nurturing customers and things like that. And someone said to me, you should call yourself the Nurture Queen. So I did. And from that stemmed my video business. So now I help people get on video and help them share their story through things like videos and podcasts and, just things like that, marketing. I coach people in marketing as well. That's my corporate background. But, just
fabulous. So if
they... all about...
Sorry, go on.
No, just all about helping people share their story, really.
Well, I think Nurture Queen Video is very
perfect.
Yes, very appropriate.
So if they just go to nurturequeenvideo.com.au, they'll find you?
nurturequeenvideos.com.
Beautiful. And also you're on all the socials. Beautiful.
I am.
And lastly, I don't really know why I have to ask this based on that you do videos, but you picked Video Killed the Radio Star as your song. Why did you do that?
Well, it's quite funny. It's for the time, that song was sort of, I think, written about the time that MTV came out. But it's funny because I think it's kind of turned its head again, because although video is still queen, as I say, not king, video is queen, things like radio and podcasting are bigger than ever. Just listening to things in your ears, because we can now. We can, everywhere we go. Yes, we can watch a video everywhere we go, but we can also listen to something in our ears everywhere we go. So, the podcasting scene, that's not going away either. I think audio is back, and that's a good sign for people that are on radio as well.
It is.
Good for you ladies.
So it's an ironic song.
Yeah. Look, thank you so much for your time, and I'll see you in a couple of hours, a couple of hours.
Will do.
I hope you're not having coriander without me.
No.
Certainly not. Not for breakfast.
Thanks, Jerry.
You've been listening to the Two Natural Ladies podcast. Visit twonaturalladies.com.au for more information. Thanks for joining us.